Isaiah 13. And the Lord had these things put in this Bible for a reason. Not just to invoke fear, but to let us know again what is on the horizon. Because it's the time of the Lord's vengeance. And eventually that vengeance has to come. Eventually the wrath that we've been reading about has to be poured out on man. And he's letting us know what is to take place that leads up to this time. 13 and verse number 9. Go ahead when you get there.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh.
Go ahead.
Cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
Because again, it's a time of destruction and despair. It's going to be a difficult time. But it's going to be for those who've not believed in the Lord. He said, behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. To do what?
To lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
And what is a sinner? Sin is the transgression of the law. So when you break God's commandments, then you are classified as a sinner. And the Lord is letting us know what he has in store for those who refuse to obey him. He said, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinner thereof out of it. Can you even fathom the thought that God is angry, he's full of wrath, and he is coming to enact his vengeance on man? What's going to take place when this? Because he gives us this sign to let us know this is the time of the day of the Lord. Go ahead.
For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
Go ahead.
The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. And the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
This is only going to happen one time. So when you read about this sign anywhere in the Bible, that lets you know what? It's talking about this one specific period in time. It's talking about coming of the day of the Lord. Turn over to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Matthew 24. Because Jesus is going to confirm what we just got to reading about when it comes to his second coming. Because they asked Jesus, his disciples are going to ask him a specific question concerning his return. And we're going to look at the reply that he gives. 24 and 3. Go ahead when you get there.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
Talking about concerning the temple, but I'm not dealing with that. Go ahead.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
So they asked him specifically about his coming. And when they say the end of the world, understand, with all of the destruction that's going to take place when the Lord comes, this world is going to continue, but it will never be the same. It means the end of man's rule. God is going to set up his kingdom. And they want to know what's going to be the sign of your coming and the end of the world. What did Jesus tell them? Go ahead.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
The first thing he told them, beware of deception. He said, you take heed that no man, don't let nobody deceive you, because what's going to take place?
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And how that's going to occur, people are going to bring the name of Jesus, but they're not going to bring the doctrine. They're going to put, again, a Christian label on it, but it has nothing whatsoever to do with the God of this Bible. He said, they asked him what's going to be the sign of his coming, the end of the world. The first thing he told them, take heed that no man deceive you, because many are going to come in my name saying, I am Christ, and they are going to deceive many. Read verse number 11 to see how many of these people is going to be out here preaching about a false Christ, preaching about a false Jesus. Go ahead.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Not a few. The majority of people that call themselves ministers and pastors, the majority of them are not teaching the people the truth. They're not teaching them what thus say the Lord. And that's evident when you take what they say and you line it up with the Bible. If it does not line up, then something is wrong. And I know it's not the Bible. Read verse number 6. Because of the events that have been taking place lately, when you look at the catastrophe that happened in Haiti, the earthquake there, and what just recently happened in Japan, the devastation that's going on there. Read these next few verses so we'll understand. Because people will look at events and think that is this the end? Well, what does the Lord say? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war.
And that's ongoing. Man is always in constant conflict with one another. Always, always. There are wars that are taking place amongst men. Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
He said, don't be troubled. Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass.
But what?
But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation.
Go ahead.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And what?
There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
But what are this? Is that the end?
All these are the beginning of sorrow.
He said these are just the beginning of the sorrows. And it is a sorrowful thing to look at the devastation that is taking place, to look at the conditions that people are living in, having to exist in throughout the world. But he lets you know, but still the end is not yet. And he goes on to give another sign. He said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel, the prophet, stand in the holy place, and he said, whoso readeth, let him understand. When you read this, you need to get some understanding. But Daniel, a prophet that's in the Old Testament, people will tell you today that the Old Testament has been done away with, and Jesus is telling you what Daniel wrote, you better understand what he's talking about. I'm not dealing with that today, but that sign that he's talking about, this abomination of desolation, he's talking about a religious leader moving into the temple that they're going to build over in Jerusalem. And he's going to proclaim that he's God's representative here on this earth. He's already done that. The largest Christian organization. He has the largest Christian organization in the world. That is going to take place. And that's going to usher in what's known as the Great Tribulation. A time of utter, complete disaster and catastrophe. The likes that have not been seen before, nor shall ever be again. And it's going to be 3.5 years. But yet and still, the Lord is not back. Drop down to verse number 29, because they want to know about his coming and the sign. What does he say? Verse 29. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
Go ahead.
And the moon shall not give her light.
This should sound familiar, because what he's telling us is about the same sign. He's giving us the same sign that we just read in Isaiah the 13th chapter. You're going to have a great disturbance in the heavens. But when is this? It say immediately after the great tribulation. The proponents of the rapture will tell you that God is going to come and rapture off his church so they don't have to deal with the tribulation. Look here. We serve an awesome and a powerful God. God can prepare a table for you in the midst of your enemies. He ain't got to caught you off somewhere, steal you off somewhere in the night like a thief. That's not the God that we serve. That's not the God of this Bible. What the Lord is going to do, the great tribulation is going to take place. And it says immediately after. That means that it has ended. It said immediately after the great tribulation, the tribulation of those days, it said the sun's going to be darkened. The moon should not give a light. The stars shall fall from the heaven. And what?
And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
The sky's going to roll back. you're going to see the Lord there. He's still not back, but he is on his way. Go ahead.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Why are people mourn?
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Because they're going to realize at this time that God is real and that they really don't know him. He said, but then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All this has to take place before Jesus can come. So how can somebody stand there and say God can come at any moment? You look at ministers and they'll say, God can come before I finish this broadcast. He can come, and God cannot come until you have the great tribulation and it's over. The great tribulation cannot occur until a temple is built and this abomination of desolation takes up occupancy in that temple. So God cannot come according to his own word until all this takes place. So when someone proclaims that he can come at any time, evidently either they didn't read the Bible or they don't believe the words of Jesus himself. But go ahead, what is the Lord going to do?
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet.
Go ahead.
And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds.
Talking about his chosen ones. Go ahead.
From one end of heaven to the other.
When the Lord comes back, he's going to be doing multiple things. He's going to be pouring out his wrath on men. It's a time he's going to judge his servants. He's going to reward those who've been faithful. It's also a time of redemption. Because that is the time that Israel is going to be recovered. That is the time he's going to bring them up out of captivity. Because Israel was the black people that was scattered into slavery all over this world. And they are going to remain there, as Jesus said, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The Gentiles' time won't be fulfilled until the second coming of the Lord. Israel did not go home in 1948. Israel is not going back into the land until the Lord makes his second coming. Turn over to Revelation, the 6th chapter. Because the day of the Lord actually starts before he gets here. It's a day of wrath, a day of destruction. And John, he was on the Isle of Patmos on what's called the Lord's Day. That's different from the day of the Lord. The Lord's Day extends to even when God has his 1,000-year reign here on this earth, before the Father and the Son reign here on this earth throughout all of eternity. But John told us about the day of the Lord. 6, and pick it up at verse number 12. 6 and 12. Go ahead when you get there.
And I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal. And lo, there was a great earthquake.
And what's taking place here, this is at the end of the great tribulation. Because we just read what Jesus said, he's coming immediately after the tribulation of those days. And at the end of the great tribulation, this is near the end of the tribulation, what's going to take place? He said, I beheld when he opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and what else?
And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. And the moon became as blood. God is getting ready to intervene into the affairs of man. And John is giving us the sign that lets us know about the coming of the Lord. Go ahead. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Go ahead.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
Because what's going to happen, the sky's going to roll back to make way for the coming of the Lord. Go ahead.
And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man. All of them are going to mourn. What are they going to say? Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Again, because they're going to know at this time that God is real and that they do not know him. But rather than throwing themselves on the mercy of the Lord, they're going to say to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from what? And from the wrath of the Lamb. You've never known the Lamb to have any wrath. A lamb is one of the most docile animals here on this earth. This is talking about Jesus. But see, he's not coming back as a lamb. He's already played that role. When he's coming back as a lion. And he's coming back with all of the ferocity and fierceness of a lion. And he is going to again destroy this world down to the ground. What time is it? Go ahead.
For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
This is the day of the Lord. Go right into the 8th chapter. That happens under the 6th seal. We're going to look at what takes place at the 7th seal. And again, because we're going to see that the day of the Lord is going to start before Jesus gets here. Because the day of the Lord is the time of God's wrath, is it not? 8 and 1. And go ahead.
And when
what takes place?
And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Go ahead.
And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God. And to them were given 7 trumpets.
Drop down to verse number 6 and go ahead. Because now what you have is you got 7 angels. And each one of them have a trumpet. And they're going to blow. Go ahead.
And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound.
Turn over to Revelation, the 15th chapter. Because what you have is God is getting ready to pour out his wrath on man. He's getting ready to plague the world. And the trumpets, the sounding of those trumpets are going to announce the pouring out of these plagues. Revelation 15 and verse number 1. Because what we're going to see that in addition to the 7 angels with 7 trumpets, you will have 7 other angels. And they're going to have 7 vials of wrath. 15 and 1. Go ahead.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, wherein them is filled up the wrath of God.
Drop down to verse number 4 and go ahead.
Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name. For thou only art holy.
Go ahead.
For all nations shall come and worship before thee. For thy judgments are made manifest.
So they're going to worship the Lord, and they're going to worship him here on this earth, all those that are left. Because they're going to know at that time that the God of this Bible again is a true and living God. He said, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous. There were 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. You got 7 angels with 7 trumpets, and you got 7 corresponding angels with the 7 last plagues. He said, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. He said, who shall fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou art holy, for all nations are going to come and worship before thee. For thy judgments are made manifest. Go ahead.
And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles.
Go ahead.
And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever.
And again, these plagues simply an extension of God's wrath that he's going to pour out on man. God does not change. If you want to know what he's going to do in the future, look at what he's done in the past. Just like he plagued Pharaoh to force him to let his people go, he's going to plague the world to force them to let his people go. He said in one of the